Welcome back, everybody. It's Raid Kitty, and we're sitting here at the currently named San Cruz at the Peter Lexington High School as the crowds are impatiently gathering for a Friday night high school football game. So let's go ahead and back out, but take a quick look at the gorgeous sunset yet again of the desert. So we are going to go ahead and turn it back to around noonish so we can see. And I'm going to take you around the town and show you a couple things that I did off screen. So the first thing I did is I actually updated... Ooh, that's a little crooked. Hold on, let me fix this. I updated my settings in Tree Anarchy, so let me go ahead and show you. So I had talked about in, I believe, the first episode that when, with this tree anarchy, trees tend to pop up on roads that have already existed. And while that is true, there's a setting that I had missed, or could potentially be new, under the tree anarchy setting. So go into your mod panel, go to options, go into tree anarchy, and under the tree anarchy button, I want to delete trees when overlap occurs. And this will turn on and off as I turn on tree anarchy. But basically what this does is I'll show you. So let's go out here and I'm just going to place a tree and show you what it does. So let's say I have a tree. And I build a road over the tree. And I delete the road, the tree comes back. Well, in this, you can actually turn off from hide trees when overlap occurs to delete trees when overlap occurs. And what that will do is, it'll actually save on some FPS and just general cleanliness for the game. But it deletes the tree, so when the road disappears, so does the tree. And that is, in my opinion, extremely useful. So, just something of note. A couple other things I did is I went through and using Bob, I replaced some of the trees that come with these assets. So a lot of the normal bushes I actually turned into small cacti, and some of the trees I changed to acacia. Pronounced it correctly this time. I love God. So put some acacia trees, and I also put these little bit taller summer trees into here. I did leave some of the other trees, and as I get going and I see more assets that need to be replaced, I will go ahead and do so. But for now, I thought that was a really good start. One more thing that I did is I replaced my power lines with rural power lines. So if you remember, this water tower was not connected to the power grid, and I had these big transmission lines running from here to here. So instead, I ran some rural power lines. One last thing I did, too, is in here I had some bushes that kind of lined these. Oh yes, hello, good morning to you too, cow. I had some bushes that lined these, but I didn't like what it did as you zoomed out, so I went ahead and deleted those. I did download some more assets for today's game, but as we get going, I will let you know what that is. So, there has been some rumors around town and some issues over here at the Lexington stables. So, Peter Lexington of the Lexington family came into San Cruz in hopes of starting a wonderful cattle farm. He thought that the rolling hills and the fertile land and the wide open spaces in this valley were going to be a phenomenal place for his cattle. And he hired a couple farmhands in the Spences and the Tombstones to help him out. So Peter Lexington and Johnathan Tombstone have been arguing because this farm is not doing as great as it could. Johnathan feels like this farm, what it really needs is crops. And Peter just wants to live up to his dream of owning solely a cattle farm. And so Jonathan's had it up to here with Peter's dreams, and has decided to take what money he has and invest in a new plot of land over on this side of town where he feels like he can have a crop farm in peace. It's a nice, relatively flat piece of land. It definitely has not been flattened at all, and he is going to take over this area and create his own farm specializing in crops. However, being the gentlemen that they have agreed to share in profits. They've also agreed, or sorry, not profits, they've agreed to share in crops and animal products back and forth, and they're still going to be trade partners, but they are not going to be business partners running the same business. So, I noticed I got a couple trees missing here, so let me go ahead and fix those. So today we are going to do two things. We are going to build up a... Nope, that's not it. I don't think that's it either. Columnar? Nope. Right crown. There we go. So today we're going to do two things. We're going to build up Johnathan Tombstone's... we're going to build up Johnathan Tombstone's crop fields over here. And we're also going to name San Cruz. So gotta hold on for that one. Let's go ahead and lay out our basic farm structure. So we still don't have the rural roads, which are my favorite, which are these country lanes. So we're still gonna have to use some dirt roads until we get those, which I think is okay. So I'm gonna turn on my terrain heights. And I might actually... So he's going to pay to decommission that windmill. And that windmill. And move them a little bit closer to the highway. And we'll move this one for continuity and... just it being a lot of the same is the word I'm looking for. Symmetrical? No. Consistent. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to remove a lot of this desert landscaping. Little cacti are just holding on for dear life. Holding on for dear life. Those ones too, coming out in the middle of the road. Oh, I saw another one. Man, I thought I fixed all these. Oh, goodness. What is going on? Anyway. So let's ignore this disaster, which is this brim of sand. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's going to be the word that you're going to get. And let's go ahead and get started laying this out. So I did download some really neat assets, which are these fields. So I'm going to show you what they look like. So we have a cotton field, which is very, very common in the West. We have wheat, which has been cut. Wheat that has not been cut. Young wheat field. Some poppy fields. So we got a 16 by 4 and a 4 by 4. So put this one down. Got a cornfield. Vegetable field. Another vegetable field. 4 by 4. Grape field. We got some other nice ones that come with some different colors. So there's just lots and lots and lots of great things. We got some end sections. So I think we're going to use this to really bolster out his farmland. So let's get started laying this out. Let's turn on our terrain height and figure out where we want the entrance for this farm to be. I think nice and close to the highway, kind of you can come in. So we're just going to make a straight line here and just start there. Now, where would he want his house? I think, again, having something kind of looking out and over. I wouldn't want it super close to the train, but I also wouldn't really want it right by this coal plant. So I'm going to run this all the way out, about there. And we're going to take the train corridor and we're going to kind of mirror that for a minute. Because what we don't want is that intersection right there. So we're going to line that up and follow that down that way as well. So, not wanting to be too awfully close to this train corridor, I think I kind of want him situated up here. So we're gonna follow our terrain. So I think I want him backed up over here. So let's add a second farming district, another main farm building. And look at that view. All of those fields are gonna be gorgeous. So instead of Hillside Ranch, we're gonna go ahead and name it Tombstone Farms. All right. So again, these two are going to be battling for workers back and forth, and that's going to be an interesting dynamic. So let's go ahead and bring this road all the way back around. And unfortunately, it's going to seem like a cul-de-sac, and I think it's going to probably be a cul-de-sac for a little while until I figure out the best way to loop this in. Because we could loop it into here, so it has a, you know, two ways in, two ways out. But the issue with that, in my opinion, is you're still kind of relying on the fact that this section of road is going to be open. So in the future, we might want to connect it and maybe connect it to the highway. So let's go ahead and paint out where his farm is going to be. All right, so we've painted out his farm. The next thing I'm going to do is make a grid system that we're going to follow for his crop fields. Now let's go ahead and lay our proper grid. I think what I'm actually going to do, instead of doing that, is I'm going to kind of let the crop fields decide where we're going. So we have some crop fields here where you wouldn't really see a lot of fruit trees. You might see some orange trees, but I think it's going to stick primarily to crop fields. So let's see how big these are. Okay, so they are 8 long, which is good to note. This is actually going to bother me that this is not technically straight. So let me fix this. Very nice. Alright, so now that he's moved here, this one is no longer going to be the Tombstone residence. And Peter Lexington has brought in his son, so it's going to be the Lexington Jr. residence. Oh, you can see, oh, no, he did go peacefully. Good job, Mr. Tombstone. Alright, so let's start placing our first crop fields. So I'm going to leave him a little bit of room here. Go straight across. And what I'm actually going to do to make sure it's straight is I'm going to draw one there. And that was how much? 220. 220. Go straight across and straight across. Delete those. And I always say that one thing that every farmhouse needs is a little grain silo. So there we go. He gets a silo. And we will detail at the end. Awesome, he's already there looking over his nice farm. Wishing and dreaming for what it is going to be. Alright, so let's get some farm fields in here. So what I am thinking is we're going to place them sporadically and fill it in with some of the decorative crop fields. And I am one too far. So let's see if that will fit. Nope. Not good. So I need to be there. All right. That should fit now. Yes. Perfect. Draw this straight across. Beautiful. So here, we're going to put, I almost just put a park in there. Let us put some wheat fields. We're going to take our, so what I'm going to do is, this is actually cotton. I like the idea of this being cotton. We all need some cotton here. All right. So we're going to type in cotton. And it's not going to fit the 16 by 16. So let's go ahead and place some of the 4 by 4s. All right, so while these don't match perfectly, I think they actually look pretty nice. It spreads them out a little bit. It'll give it some nice flow. I mean, we have all this land that we're going to fill out. What I need to do is I need to work with my prop distance. That's something I can do in another episode. I'm not really worried about it right this second. And so what we're also going to do is we're going to place some of our industry buildings throughout. So I'm also going to want some of the processing buildings. And that can go right over top the wheat, which is nice. I like that. I wonder, I don't know that I can actually zone over top of it. It would be pretty cool though. I don't think I can, but what I can do is get him a little bit of help. So right here, we're gonna place a little path. Is it a 3 by 3 house? So let's find him a little 3 by 3 farmhouse. Just a little friend. Put it right there and watch it grow in, and we'll move the props when they get there. Oops, I deleted the house. Oops, I deleted the house. Oh my goodness. So smart. Alright, we're gonna delete that. We're gonna try this again. Put the house in there. We're gonna mark it historical. Ah, the Hickory residence. Perfect. I say that this will do. That'll do. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the cotton back in there. Cotton. We're getting him a little bit of room there. Perfect. I'm curious what the cotton end does. So let's take a look at that cotton field and grab the cotton end. All it does is it looks like it just adds some texture, but I don't think we really need that. So I think we're okay. Awesome. So I know I need some water, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run some water for these guys. Nice. And now we'll run some power lines. We'll run it right along this road here. And I'll actually run it all the way to the house, even though it doesn't need to be. Kind of complete the look a little bit. Oh, it's looking so good. Alright, so let's get another set of stuff in. So what I'm thinking is the next set is going to be purely decorative until we get our next size of crop fields. So let's go 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, that was... Well, let's see if that'll fit. I'm not going to put cotton, but I am going to measure it with the cotton. Okay. That will fit great. Let me slow that back down. Bring this over at a 90. Oh, that was 92. Bring this over at a 90. And bring this over at a 90. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to break this into sections. So with this one, I'm going to bring... I actually should probably have done the same thing there as well. I'm going to bring that down as a row 2. Perfect. Alright, so let's get some wheat fields in here, shall we? I am actually going to go and place a couple more things of crops. So let's go wheat. And I think we're going to do one set of... Yeah, we're going to do a couple different sets. Do that one. And I want them to be running the same direction. And that one. And then we're going to take this wheat. And we're going to take some of the other fields. So we got corn, we have poppy. Yeah, so we're going to take some of these different colored fields and really make it come together. So I looked at some pictures of... I looked at some pictures of some fields in the desert, and I came across this really beautiful picture, and it uses a term called agritourism. And so agritourism is defined as a form of commercial enterprise that links agricultural production and or processing with tourism in order to attract visitors onto a farm, ranch, or other agricultural business for the purpose of entertaining and or educating the visitors and generating income for the farm, ranch, and business owner. And so I came across that term and I did some research, and I came across a gorgeous picture of, looks like Yuma, Arizona. And you can see a lot of it is mostly what appears to be wheat and some corn, a lot more of these darker colors. But you do see these interesting striations. And that's what I'm going to go for a little bit here, is get some of these stripes in here. Some different colored crops. Get some vegetable fields in there. Yeah, they kind of look like this, which is neat. So let's see what we got here. Those are all the ends. Kind of like the orange. So let's place... What way is this running? So those are running vertically. So I'll place that. Oops. Let's delete that and do it again. Nice fine movements. And I know I could probably use a prop line tool for this, but I prefer the more fine movements that I can get. I'd love to just be able to run this along here until I get to a nice corner like so. All right, and so let's do another one. Let's try these vegetable fields. That's kind of an interesting thing to end with over here. So again, I'm going to get nice and close, do some fine movements. Oops. I have to be really careful with this one because you can see that there's a lot of the see-through lines, and I don't... Yeah, that's going to be kind of funky there. So what if we were to actually instead corn, wheat. Let's go back to the poppy and get the 4x4. And the reason I'm spending some time doing this is while I really like the farming assets, when you use a lot of them, you end up with kind of a... Ooh, that's going to be above that. I don't like that at all. Just kidding. You kind of end up with a lot of empty space, or a lot of space that's being overutilized. So for instance, if I didn't have these, it would be a huge stack of, you know, these fields. And that would be a lot of production. And while that's really good, it would be overwhelming my traffic and just kind of not what I'm going for. I don't want hundreds of those. I want a couple, and I want to be able to do some nice things. And I'm not liking the way that that looks. So I think we're going to end it with that one and leave this for some decorating later. I don't quite know what's happening there. I know these are terrain conforming, which makes these even cooler. What in the world is going on there? We're just gonna, just in case. Nope. That's just a visual glitch, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in another of the growing, let's see, small crop fields. So it looks like I can actually put it through these, which is neat. So I know I want wheat. So let's see. I wonder what color the wheat is. Let me take a look at this. So I got corn, which I can put here. And then we have wheat. I think I'm going to use wheat. I'm going to put one over here. Wheat. Oh, you know what? I didn't even check. Do we even have fertile land over here? Of course we don't, but that's okay. I can make fertile land. Alright. Go ahead and turn our forestry lock back on. And we're missing some water. So we have one wheat there. I think if it doesn't yell at me, I'm gonna scoot this back just a little bit. Did not yell at me. Cool. And I'm gonna put a corn here. In my opinion, I'm kind of figuring if I have these nice props, well, I could use these as standalones. I might as well make them kind of blend in. That one doesn't blend nearly as well, but that's okay. It still looks pretty neat, if you ask me. And why are those missing water? Ah, because they're still not quite close enough. And we're getting really, really close on sewage treatment, so I'm just going to bump my water up just a little bit, and I will fix that at the end of the episode. Alright, so we have some production going on here. Tombstone Farms is slowly hitting its production level. It will get there, I am sure. I'm going to stick in 2 more of these. I'm going to stick one right here at the end. I'm gonna stick another one over here at this end. Now I'm gonna scooch it over just a little bit. We're gonna jump some power around, and then we're going to check our city needs before calling it a day. All right, so the farm has power. Beautiful. Yeah, I need to fix that prop snapping. Let me take a look and see. I remember the modder recommended, or the asset creator recommended a specific mod for that. So give me 1 second. So I looked it up, and it is the adaptive prop visibility mod. Distance, there we go. Visibility distance mod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with these. So let's take all these and just bump them up. Let's see what that does. Okay. Cool. So that's at least moving in the right direction. So how about this one? I'm going to go just a little further because I'd like to be able to see it from about here. So let's try 0.6. Okay. What happens if I turn this slider up? I think that's just naturally how it runs. And that's okay. So I'm going to turn this back down to 200. Ooh. Might break my computer if I do that. Of course, I can't get to 200. Nope. So we're going to just go slightly over. And I'm going to take this up. Or take this back down to 5. Cool. And so now that doesn't pop. And this one still pops, but that's okay. I think that's just how that texture is. And that is just fine with me. So that's looking really nice. So I'm going to continue to do some more.
Geologists predict
Oh
that
no.
a sinkhole could strike at any minute.
Oh,
Residents
crap.
should take precautionary measures.
Well, I'm gonna save. Oh god, I really need to start putting this stuff in. But I still don't have the... Yeah, I don't have anything I can put in. Let's, well... make this quick jump before the sinkhole comes. Okay, way over there. Not a problem.
A sinkhole has occurred somewhere in the city. Stay out of harm's way and contact authorities with any information.
Our town's way somewhere over there. So, we're okay. But, one of these days we're gonna not be okay. And that's gonna be a problem. Let's head back to our town. And let's keep detailing. Well, that was a lot more work than I expected, but oh my goodness, do I think it turned out great. Placing these props by hand instead of using the prop line tool was a lot of work, but just look at how gorgeous this looks. I think that this is one heck of a farm. One thing I did change as I was going was I decided instead of kind of the more organic style of road that went along with the rail line and went along with the contours of the terrain. As you can see here on the left or on the right side, it's more organic. I started making these changes to go along with the prop line. So let me show you what I did. So this was initially what I had here. And what I did is I actually just went and I started deleting some roads. And I went with this because it wouldn't make sense to have that much wasted land. You know, you're gonna purchase this land. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny. And so having that wasted space just did not make sense to me. So I went through and I deleted that, and of course I deleted a rural power lines. Let me go ahead and fix that really quick. I'm gonna follow the road. Perfect. So you can see now I have this little bit of space here. I'm gonna go through. The roundabout's gonna be interesting, but I'm gonna fix it. So we are gonna have it come off the roundabout, but I do want this to come as close to that prop line as possible and right into the roundabout. We're gonna fix that roundabout. All right, so now I have this little bit of space here, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab my wheat, and it should be the cut. There we go. Oops. There we go, wheat field. And I'm just going to place it along this road, filling out that final crop area and leaving this on his own. And let's actually redo these power lines so they can follow the road and complete the illusion. I think instead of running it all the way along there, I'm going to run it directly into that power. So, like I said, I am super excited. I think both of these farms turned out absolutely gorgeous. I do like this asset a little bit better than I like, oops, mind the turning, than I like these, but I may try and fix these off screen. But for now, I think we can call it here and take a quick tour of the farm. Well, what a busy day on the farm that was. I wish my workday went by that fast. Well, I want to leave you with something I've been holding back all episode long, and that is the name of our town. We are going to go with the wonderful town of Sandella. Well, thank you so much, friends, for coming and joining me today. If you have any comments, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments section. If you liked my video, feel free to like, and if you want to see more of my desert city, or if you want to catch any of my other videos, make sure you subscribe and click that bell. I will see you all next time.